Welcome back to the channel. Quick disclaimer before we get going. You can say what you want about the Astros, and Lord knows I've said my share. But they have some very talented players regardless of anything that went on. And George Springer is one of them. And what you're about to see is him taking me to the absolute moon. Hit a ball completely out of Minute Maid Park off of me. But I came back the next at bat, got him to bend the knee, and ultimately got the last laugh because we won the game. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I call this crisscrossing the corner. You know, tunneling is a crazy concept. There's no way a big leaguer swings at that. If this ball's 1-7, he absolutely crushes it. Boom, that's the breaking point. All right, here we go. As always, I'm gonna play it through for the first time, let you guys watch what happened. These are the first 3 at-bats of the game. The 4th at-bat there wasn't really a whole lot to see there. I think it was a ground out in the 8th inning, something like that. But here we go. Slow. Slow. Yank. That was a Clevenger throw. And there it is. Completely disappears. Way gone. Bayou. Good take. Bend thy knee. All right, so as always, again, we are going to talk about what we know about George going in. Basically, it is fastballs up here are generally good. Off-speed stuff. Let's do a different color. Off-speed stuff over here, generally good. Hits fastballs in the down and in area. Crushes these, middle, all of this. You can get him over here a little bit in the down and away. And swings through these ones up here in the zone. We'll get him every now and then. But the best plan of attack with the fastball is basically just up over down. He generally crushes the bottom half of the zone with fastballs unless they're away. And off-speed stuff, anything hanging kind of in this area, he crushes, regardless really of which way it's moving. Better to be moving this way as an off-speed pitch in this zone than coming from over here and moving back towards the plate. So that's generally the attack plan on him. Struggles sometimes a little bit with changeups. I think going into this series, if I remember correctly, he was not hitting the changeup too well. But generally, it's breaking balls, it's fastballs up here, and it's breaking balls moving this way or below the zone with George. So here we go. First pitch. We start off bottom 1, leading off the game. So this is the very first pitch of the game here. Start off down and away, miss. Looks like he has absolutely no intention of swinging at this pitch. He's just looking to see one. Kind of an auto take. This pitch should have been kind of in here to make sure and get ahead. But we yanked it a little bit, so we get behind 1-0. Can't really learn anything from the hitter's body language there, just because, auto taking. Also, side note, nice to see happy, smiley fans here in the stands. Baseball and, all the things that go with it. Actually playing the game, which that's for another video. Anyway, second pitch, we're behind 1-0 and throw this pitch. Again, here's this kind of up, over, down idea. And one of the reasons, I guess we can go into this here. So let me clear this off the screen. One of the reasons for this is, generally speaking, George's bat path is kind of like this through the zone, which is why he can cover this down portion. So balls that are away, he has the bat path in this, let's switch colors here. He has this part of the bat path that covers this kind of area over here. But because the ball's further away from him, he runs out of bat. Timing has to be absolutely perfect to get to this area. But the reason he covers down and in very well over here is because this bat basically just sweeps continues sweeping. And if you imagine this bat is kind of coming out towards the plate right now, not just going across the screen. When this bat path gets to this down and in area, he just has to get the head out a little bit more, and then it's perfect angle to launch a ball up up in the air. And with the short porch in Houston, that's usually productive. So this angle of the spine here with the bat angle, let me see if I can find the bat. There we go. This angle and this angle of the bat, pretty perpendicular, which is usually a good thing. You don't want to see, rounding of the spine. You don't really want to see tilting of the head. If you look at this, the head and the spine are pretty straight. Some players, you'll see the spine like this, and then the head will kind of tilt off this way, and their eyes tilt, and it breaks the integrity of the spine in the swing, and so they have a really hard time positioning the barrel of the bat on the ball because their eyes are moving and the body's breaking down. But George is not like that. He's got very strong posture here, very well connected. You see this elbow in here, still bent, but this arm is fully extended in a powerful position, and he's dead on the ball. It just looks like timing beats him a little bit. The ball may be just slightly by the bat, or he could have been slightly early on this timing-wise, but he gets pretty much close to extended. Probably was a little bit late because he's trying to get this barrel. He's trying to hit the ball a little bit more out here on this part of the barrel. It probably gets in on him just a tick by the time he hits it. Pretty typical. You can see, like, if you're late a little bit, you see the arms bend. This arm doesn't get fully extended through it, and the hands kind of like pull across the body this way. So he's probably just a little bit late on this, tried to get the barrel to it. Got a pretty good swing off, but ends up missing it. Ends up being a ground ball to third. So 93, pretty much on it. Let me pause this. Pretty much on 93, kind of like up here, just barely missed it. So I have a general idea of where his timing is and kind of what he's looking for. Although, middle to middle up heater, pretty much regardless of what you're looking for, you're going to swing at it. So we roll into the second at bat, and the first thing that we see is the same kind of body language as the very first pitch of the first at bat, where he's lowering his hands. If you watch here, he's lowering his hands as his pitch is coming to the plate, has no intention of swinging at this pitch. But what we do see is that this pitch starts, it straightens him up. You watch the weight shift from on the toes or midfoot here, and you watch it shift kind of back to the heels. You see this straightening up of the posture in the middle of the body, kind of like, there's a little bit of a buckle here. This ball probably starts off as though it's going to be a fastball in this area. So he's probably reading that and buckling a little bit out of the way, and then ends up being a slider that breaks away, and he's kind of on his heels moving backwards. But regardless, ball one, so the strategy of auto-taking first pitch works again, much to my chagrin. Second pitch, we throw the same thing. He's intending on swinging now, so he's actually reading this. And you can see the much different posture with the leg and with the hands. He's actually intending on swinging in this count and nick the outside corner. He recognizes this pitch and just chooses to take it because he doesn't think it's a strike or it's not a pitch that he can really drive. He's okay with it. You see this immediately, going to kick the dirt, head down. All right, strike, good pitch. This pitch is the one that's telling, and this is the one I missed when I was on the mound, which is why I ended up giving up the homer. So here you see the leg kick, the hands. He's looking to swing at this pitch. He reads it. He triggers. The hips go, and the hands go, and for whatever reason, he just doesn't pull the trigger. He just doesn't swing. Something he saw in there, maybe he thought it was a ball, perhaps. It's pretty much the exact same location as the pitch before, but he doesn't trigger. And then the body language afterwards, if you look at me, I'm looking straight over here at Berto to get the ball back. I'm kind of in a rhythm. I'm throwing, I'm trying to go at a fast pace and throwing pitches and focused on what I'm doing. But if you watch what he does, watch over here, he takes this pitch, and before the umpire even says anything or calls it, he's just mad at himself. He pulls back, he puts the head down, he's kind of like eye rolling himself right now. The head tilts off a little bit here, not too happy, grabs the barrel of the bat, like kind of flings it. So he's not happy right here about taking that pitch, which to me tells me that he is looking for a slider. He's looking slow here, and he gets the pitch that he wants, and he's just like, why didn't I swing at that? That's the one I wanted. He's kind of frustrated. That's what it tells me in watching the video afterwards. I didn't recognize that in the game. I missed that body language. Hard to see sometimes when you're finishing the pitch and the things are so, the reads on the hitter happen so quickly. But he's upset about that. And one of the reasons is, regardless of the sign stealing in 2017 and potentially 2018, 19, whatever the case is, we're not going into that in this video. The Astros actually are very advanced analytically, and they do a lot of stuff that's very, very good, that is very legal. One of those things is they look at tendencies of what pitchers throw and what counts and what to expect. Are they throwing hard, soft in these counts? Are they away, in, up, down? And so if there's a glaring percentage difference that, let's say I throw 70% off-speed stuff moving away from a right-handed hitter in 1-1 counts, that's what they're going to go up there and look for. And they're going to take hacks at it because they can hit all of it. They've been trained really well to hit all of it. They're really good players, like I said earlier. But they also have a good attack plan going in. So this, to me, looks like he was looking for that pitch. He's frustrated with himself. Like, why didn't I swing at that? I got the one I was looking for. Kind of eye-rolling himself. To me, I just thought, oh, great. Executed that pitch, and it's 1-2. And I'm going to come back and execute another one. And this is actually a really good pitch here. He looks at it, he's reading it, and this is kind of a defensive swing because he's not sure if this is going to be a strike or not, and he just kind of throws the bat out there to foul it off, not trying to do any damage on it, probably because he wasn't sure exactly what I was going to go to in a 1-2 count, although this year, at this time, I think this is it's fairly early in 2019, which means their scouting reports were probably based off of 2018 when I threw a really high percentage of sliders. So this is probably just him seeing a really well-located pitch and putting a good defensive swing on it to spoil it and get to the next pitch. That's kind of what you see here. He's just reading, and then just flicks his bat out there. He's fine with this. He's happy. He spoiled the pitch, gets to the next one. And at this point, I'm like, okay, he's slowed down. He's looking slow. I'm going to throw a fastball, and I'm just going to stick one down here. And I'm fully convinced that if I execute this pitch, because he's slowed down and kind of like reading out there, that this pitch is going to be by him before he can get the barrel out and I have a strikeout. But I missed by approximately 800 feet. This ball is actually behind some lefty hitters in the league. But I tried to throw this one as hard as possible because I knew I had a strikeout if I executed, and I got excited. And you can see this whole, like from here, I have this posture line, and the very next frame, it straightens up. And then the next one, it's way over here. So there's a massive shifting off this way of the posture. You can see the head tilts really bad over this way. The spine is over this way. Everything is going this way. And it follows that the ball just gets yanked off. Everything's falling off this way. So I just got excited here and tried to throw one way too hard. It was 97, so that's cool, but it wasn't anywhere close or useful, even though we did get a little bit of a trigger out of him, even though this ball's way out of the zone, which means, again, to me, he's looking out here, and he sees something that starts off over there and triggers on it. So interesting stuff. Usually you don't get triggers on balls that miss that much. And this is interesting down here. If you look, everything in this at-bat has been on this outer third or black. 2 and 3 are overlaid here. Basically, like I said, the same exact pitch. He was mad about the third one that he didn't swing at. But now his attention as a hitter, he's got to be looking this entire at-bat out this way. So his body starts leaning out this way. This is probably why on this fifth pitch that missed by so much, we got a little bit of a trigger out of him because he's looking away. And now I try to come back with, I'm trying to hit like this zone down here, 2-2, something that's close. Definitely something that doesn't get more of the plate. I'm trying to like throw it in this box here. Something that starts kind of middle here and breaks over here with the slider. Pull off it a little bit and cast this ball. You can see it starts off, really inside on this line. He's looking slow. He's looking for slider. He doesn't flinch at all on this ball. It's just down, recognizes it's slow. in his legs and triggers here and catches absolutely all of it. This is why, again, going back to the bat angle, anything off speed and hanging in this area allows him to get the head out around this loop so it's further out in front of the plate. And with this steep angle of his bat, it's perfect for elevating the ball, which is exactly what you see here. He hits it. I know it immediately, just like, uh-oh, head down. He knows it immediately. He looks at it a little bit, admires it, which honestly, like, wish there was a little bit more of a bat flip there because this ball went about 700 feet. I take about a 1 second look at it and turn around to get a new ball. All the fans out here are super happy and they don't get a souvenir because this ball ends up like up in here somewhere, like way over this building. So yeah, anyway, he got me, hung a pitch right in the middle, and it looked like a SpaceX launch, you know, just put a ball into orbit. But next at bat, I come out victorious. This is the pitch that sets up the entire at bat. It's 95, upper part of the zone. Again, you see this, he's trying to get the barrel angle up here, but with this spine angle, the barrel tends to be perpendicular to it, which is about what you see here on this angle, and that's why balls in the upper part of the zone tend to beat him, especially with velocity, because he just can't get the bat out in front of the plate enough where the barrel would sweep, you know, up to get to that ball. So this ball beats him, and it actually sets up, it tunnels perfectly with the pitch I end up getting him on later in the at bat. So throw that one by him. He's definitely late on this. He takes this huge hack, but I realized in the moment that he was late. And so now we go back to this dominant strategy of sliders away. Execute this one. You know, Berto's been all game just doing a great job of catching this. I talk about it a lot, but you know, this ball is moving this way. So if you get your glove inside the ball and move this way with the ball, when you catch this ball, it's going to take your glove from catching it here. It's going to take the glove this way with the ball, which is to the umpire is going to see him, you know, have him see the ball further away than what it actually is and lead to more ball calls. Instead, what you see with Berto is his whole body, you see where the ball is here, you know, the vast majority of his body is outside of the ball, including his glove. So when he catches this, his body is moving. You can see, watch this shin guard here. That is moving this way when he's catching the ball. There goes the shin guard moving. There goes you see his butt shift right here. You know, watch down in this area. Probably shouldn't be circling that, but you can see the butt shift a little bit. And when the glove is actually contacting the ball, just by stabilizing, you can see the glove moving in towards the zone a little bit. So by the time he actually finishes the act of catching, before he actively has to move the glove, he's already drugged this ball from here, maybe another 2 or 3 inches back to here. You can see that act of catching, there's the ball, and then we get the strike call. So something that really differentiates, you know, Berto from, or a really good defensive catcher, pitch framer specifically, from someone that may not be as good, understanding those little things and how they relate to, you know, showcasing the pitch for the umpire. Here's, you know, some body language, just like kind of frustrated that I, again, you know, painted the outside corners like, okay. And here we go again with this strategy. I recognize he was behind a fastball and he's probably been looking slow, 0-2. I know that they're hitting by percentages, and I know that I always, or at least in 2018, when I got to 0-2 counts, it was something like 80% that I was throwing sliders out here. Just because it was new and people didn't realize that I had that pitch, and so it worked all the time. But coming into 2019, people had the scouting report and they started looking for it. So I figure if I just stick a fastball out here in an 0-2 count, he probably takes it or takes an emergency swing at it, and I get a strikeout. But again, I, you know, yank it off the plate. 97 again. I like that number, which is a good number, but yanked off the plate. So don't get the strikeout there. Then we come back with a slider, something that he's looking for, slow going this way, most likely still in a 1-2 count. Actually a pretty good pitch. I'm happy with this location. This gets a lot of swing and miss. And we see, if you watch him, you get the hips triggering, you get the hands, and he just has to hold up at the last second. So good take on his part. Very competitive pitch. Good take on his part. Good all around. Great block by Berto as well. We got a guy on first base here with 2 outs. So, if this guy advances to second and a bloop happens, it's a run and it's a tie game. So Berto does a great job here. Gets down, corrals this ball, and is able to knock it down in a way that it stays in front of him. So close to having this ball be off the side going this way. And a really tough pitch because this ball is moving this way into the dirt and with a lot of spin, kicks in weird angles. So Berto does a great job of getting over there and keeping the guy at first. And then we come back with this, which looks like this fastball up top that he was late at. He identifies it as being straight, takes a big swing at it, and you can see the barrel is, way out in front of the ball. So this doesn't get him on movement. It just gets him on pure speed. It's pretty much a center cut changeup, 9 miles an hour slower than the previous fastball. Not a pitch that he expects. I don't throw changeups very often to righties, or at least traditionally I hadn't, because my changeup didn't profile well to righties. And not something that's on the scouting report at all. So as soon as he sees straight, he's coming out of his shoes hacking as if it's a fastball. And we get this big swing and make him take a knee. So I consider myself to have won this at bat. He obviously won the day, going 1 for 4 with a homer. I won overall on the day because I think we won this game as a team. So little things, that's the takeaway. Missed body language, missed him telling me that he was frustrated that he didn't trigger and didn't swing at a slider. Should have known that he was looking for a slider. Missed a pitch in the middle instead of getting it to the right location. Everyone knows what happens when you hang a breaking ball. That's no surprise to anybody, but a couple nuggets about hitting based on percentages, reading body language, reading swings, understanding how the swing relates to the scouting report, and some pitch framing stuff with Berto. I'm proud of Berto. He got himself his Gold Glove. He's been after that thing for a long time, and he deserves it. So that's it. That's today's episode. Can't wait to hear all your comments about the Astros in the comments. But as I said before, they have a lot of very talented players, and while they may have made mistakes in the past, it doesn't take away from their talent or the fun of matching up against them and going toe-to-toe with some of the game's best. So that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. Leave me some comments. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. We're getting close. Going to do a giveaway when I do get there. Leave me a like. That would really help me out. And let any of your friends know about this channel that aren't following and subscribed already. Trying to get as much baseball content out there for you guys and girls. Not for you internet trolls. But while baseball's not on the field, got some baseball here on Breaking Point for you. Have a good one.